Good Day Collective. I am a soldier, y'all. If you can't say anything about me, is I go hard. Resiliency, and also I go hard for humanity. I go hard for myself. I go hard for my family. I go hard for God, y'all. I am a soldier of love, no doubt. Um, you know, The odds have been stacked against me since I was a child. Growing up in Muncie, Indiana with divorced parents and a disabled mother, and a lack of resources and finances, you know, many people thought that I would just end up there forever with the kids or on drugs. And I think of the miracle that God has done in my life. And it wasn't for lack of effort either. God put it into action and opened the doors for me, but it was up to me to walk through them. And it was up to me to do the hard work to sustain it. Today's work is I love beating the odds. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. Welcome to all you newbies to the Celestial Kingdom Frequency. For those of y'all who, have been following, peace, light, and love to you. Peace, light, and love to everyone. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope that whatever brings you to this moment in time, that, you can walk away from whatever I'm about to say, and it can be either relevant to yourself or anybody in your life. And it can kind of help you think through what you're going through. But yeah, y'all, a challenge has never stopped me. And certainly not what the world tells me are my limitations. I've never believed in the world's limitations placed upon me. I went to Culver, I was in a poor educational system. Everybody when I went to Culver was way, more advanced than me, and most of those people had a lot more money than me. When I moved there when I was 13, I left home. Never had been away from home like that, and all new, boarding school, away from everything I knew, including my mother. And the odds were stacked against me. I had a lot of people, I think, in my family initially who thought I wouldn't do well and thought I would drop out. Who would have thought that a little girl from Muncie would have ended up going to Princeton, and that the odds were definitely stacked against me then. But when I went to Culver, I gave it my all, and it showed in all my accomplishments and my grades. And I'm glad that the nice folk at the Princeton, recruitment and admissions office saw my talent in addition to my smarts. I ended up going to law school when I was pregnant. And when I had a toddler, the odds were most certainly stacked against me going into that first year. And after, everybody thought I would drop out, y'all. And in my professional career, I've had so many people doubt me throughout my career. It hasn't mattered how well or amazing the things have been that I've done. For some reason, I don't know why, y'all. People just, it's like I'm the person, behind the scene that's always like making it work, creating jobs for people, getting stuff pushed through, positively impacting. But I do it in the background. I do it in silence. I do it because I care. I do it because that's what I do. And because of that, people haven't already really understood like my role, and like, how I've helped them. And they act like it, where, I know for a while, like at my job now, there are so many people who just never thought that I would be in the capacity that I am now, as a leader in an organization. And probably because they didn't think I was capable, but they didn't know the whole time, even before I stepped into my current role, I've always been pushing things in the background. Positively, I walked in the door like, we're going to change everything, you know, and odds were stacked against me in terms of stepping into these roles, you know. But as I said, the key to beating the odds is that if you set your mind to a dream, if you set your mind to accomplish something, the first step is to make sure that you're actually committed to your dream. Because a lot of times when we dream of something and God hands it to us, like, and how you know it's God ordained is that it happens easily, that you don't have too much resistance, that it's not confusing. It just flows. Even if it's hard, you know, even if you face resistance, even if there's conflict in it, and it flows, that's God ordained, you know. And so a lot of times, you know, people, they get their dream, the door opens, but when they step through, it might not be exactly what they thought. Like the work that they have to do in order to actually step into that position or that status, or, you know, that opportunity, it could be a lot of hard work. And I will tell you, the constant of all my experiences in my life of beating the odds, including when I passed occupational licensing reform in the state of Illinois, now called the SAFER Act, that then was used as the ruling policy for the cannabis legalization, was that I had to work my tail off. And I had to be committed to my dream. Not half, you know, stepping it, not half, oh, you know, I want to do it, but I don't want to. No, it was a full commitment to the dream. And that meant everything that came with it. Any resistance that I faced, any kind of conflict that came up, any kind of confusion on my part as I stepped into my new self, as I stepped into my new project, that things wouldn't always flow the way that I thought they would. And that is where the surrender and every last example I told you really made a difference. And like for the longest, y'all, I have been in the astral, and I didn't even know that that's what was happening. But I have, in my dreams, like in this grayish dark place, I've always had these long conversations for any of these things that I'm talking about, where I beat the odds, where I've like talked to various folks in my dreams, but they have like given me the playbook for whatever issue I was trying to solve, whatever I was trying to overcome. And we would have these long conversations, and then I would wake up and know the answers to it. So, and it was like, and usually what would happen for me to get to that place is that I would flow, that I would say, Lord willing, or God tell me, because I would know in those situations, whether it was leaving Muncie and going to Culver, or going to Culver, or going to Princeton, or going from working professionally in politics and government relations and working for the city, that I was time for me to step into my calling as an attorney, or whether it was as a lobbyist, an advocate and practitioner pushing progressive legislation that stopped, you know, the outright preclusion of people into living wage careers for the sole fact, based on good moral character, that they had a conviction. And me and my team and our allies, we pushed that progressive legislation through, but it was because it was God ordained. I used to look at people and I used to say to people, like, you're not, like, if you're coming at me during negotiation for this policy or this legislation and you trying to stop me, you don't even know that he's not. I work for God. You need to take it up with upstairs. But I was fully committed to the dream, and I was willing to put in a hard work. And then when I achieved whatever my dream or whatever I wanted to pursue for my goals, I never stopped with the maintenance, y'all. And that goes for relationships too, y'all. Positive relations. If you are encountering your divine counterpart and it's going against the odds for whatever reason on both sides, if you really love that person and you know that they're the one for you, you put in that work. to make it happen.